With me now, Louisiana flood victim, Pastor Tony Perkins. Welcome back, Pastor. We're glad to have you here. Your home was severely damaged by the floods. Before we talk about political matters, how is it going for you? How is it going for your family?
Well, we're going to do just fine. We've got our house gutted, and we'll be rebuilding at some point in time. But our attention now turns to our church, one of the largest churches in the area, as well as our community, which was heavily affected. About half of the homes in our community were flooded, and so we've got a lot of work to do in the days and weeks ahead. And we're getting a very good response from across the country as volunteers and others are coming in to help out.
Well, the Red Cross made a very clear statement saying this is the worst disaster since Superstorm Sandy. But in this memo that I referred to just a few moments ago, there was an ad meant for evacuees saying that the renter preferred 2 white females. So everyone who's not white or not female can feel slighted. But do you think a letter coming from the Justice Department was necessary? Have you seen discrimination on the ground where you are?
No, to the contrary. Now, I'll just have to say, first off, I'm grateful the president came down. I know he probably did so in the wake of Donald Trump coming down. I invited Donald Trump and Mike Pence to come down. They toured. Unfortunately, that brought the attention to the devastation here. But the president, again, grateful he came. But you know what? Not everybody operates from his ideology of discrimination. We don't discriminate against people based on their religion, as the president has done. In fact, going back to Katrina, our church, which is not far from where the president visited today, basically at the time, an all-white middle-class church took in for over 2 months African-American residents of New Orleans who were evacuated. Our church is now racially mixed. There was no racism. Yesterday, we welcomed a Muslim couple to our church to receive water and aid, and everyone who wants to come through the doors of a church in this area are going to be greeted and welcomed and helped and their needs met. The president can keep his ideology of discrimination and hatred elsewhere. It's not happening here, and the president is simply being divisive by putting that type of stuff down here in Louisiana.
It seems like from reports on the ground, these absolutely amazing stories of people just reaching out and helping each other.
Absolutely. Neighbor helping neighbor. My 17-year-old helped rescue 25 people out of their homes before we had to evacuate by boat. There is no color, there is no there is nothing looked at except another human being. And people here in Louisiana, we like people. We love people. We love our neighbors, and we're going to help. And we're grateful for Americans across this country who don't operate the way the president does. They just care because they're Americans who are hurting and they need help, and they're helping. And what I have seen thus far has been primarily a faith-based approach. I've not had an encounter with any government agency. Quite frankly, I don't want to, because usually they're ineffective. What we are seeing are churches, nonprofit organizations helping people who are hurting. They don't care what color they are. They don't care anything except the fact they're human beings who need help. And so the president is only interjecting this divisive ideology that it has, and quite frankly, it's offensive to many of us down here in Louisiana.
So, Pastor, you mentioned the president's visit. You referenced Donald Trump's. Does it strike you as odd, or are you too busy helping everybody to notice that Hillary Clinton has said she has not yet chosen a day to go, and essentially she is saying she's going to pick a day when she feels like she is not getting in the way of workers?
Look, I welcome anyone and everyone to come down and see the extensive nature of this devastation, who want to help and bring attention. That's why I'm grateful that Donald Trump responded to my request to come down and view this, so that the media would have an opportunity to look at it. And everyone who has seen it, it's unbelievable. It's beyond anything that they thought possible. And so I'm grateful for anyone and everyone who wants to. But in terms of these divisive ideologies and policies that the president pushes, they can leave that behind. Just roll up your sleeves, come down here, and help Americans who have a need.
Pastor Tony Perkins, we wish you well. You have all our good thoughts, healing vibes for everybody there that you're helping, and for your own family. I'm glad to hear that your house will be looked after. Obviously, you have work ahead, but we're glad you can at least come on TV and talk to us about it. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you. We're just going to keep loving people just the way Jesus does.
It's the right approach. Pastor Tony Perkins.